Red Lobster is a casual dining restaurant chain that opened in 1968. Thank you for your suggestion.
Red Lobster.
Tonight, 30 shrimp, just $8.95.
Red Lobster for the seafood.
Scampi, and oh, golden fried.
Red Lobster for the seafood lover.
Grilled and lemon pepper. 30 shrimp on one plate, just $8.95.
Red Lobster for the seafood lover in you.
And kids get shrimp, a complete meal, just $1.95.
William B. Darden of Waycross, Georgia, opened at the age of 19 a Depression-era Waycross lunch counter that he called the Green Frog, promising service with a hop. He went on to own some local motel and hotel properties, and all are part of some 20 Howard Johnson restaurants. Inspired by the great popularity of seafood in 2 of his 8 restaurants, one was located in Orlando and the other in Jacksonville. Darden opened his first Red Lobster restaurant in Lakeland, Florida in 1968. Darden wanted to market a chain of moderately priced, family-style, full-service seafood restaurants. He chose to open in Lakeland because it was as far from the ocean as possible in Florida, and he wanted to test his concept outside of coastal areas. At the time, there was a gap in the market for affordable seafood, especially in landlocked areas like Lakeland. Red Lobster's mission was to serve delicious, high-quality seafood to the masses. The first Red Lobster proved to be a booming success, so much so that Darden and his partners had to work full shifts to meet the objective of getting the food to the table within 10 minutes of the order. As a pioneer in the chain restaurant industry, Red Lobster became famous for its casual dining atmosphere and fan-favorite dishes, like its Cheddar Bay biscuits and fried shrimp. The restaurant's more relaxed environment and family-friendly prices cemented Red Lobster as one of the first casual dining concepts. By 1970, there were 3 Red Lobsters in operation, all in Central Florida and 2 more under construction. The 3 units, which despite their names specialized in fried fish and hush puppies favored by Southerners, averaged $800,000 each in annual sales, and the earnings were solid, but the company lacked cash to grow. The seafood restaurant had gotten the attention of General Mills, a diversified food products giant. Acquiring Red Lobster Inns of America in 1970 made sense because General Mills fish sales accounted for about $80 million of its revenue, or 1/9 of its total sales. It was General Mills' first venture into the restaurant industry. General Mills put resources into the chain, allowing it to expand coast to coast and transforming the business into the first nationwide seafood restaurant chains. General Mills upgraded Red Lobster into a mid-price seafood dinner house that was a model of corporate efficiency. In 1971, Red Lobster established an in-house department for purchasing seafood on a worldwide scale. The company also established, long before the rest of the industry, a computerized point-of-purchase system to track how much of any given item was selling where. In 1975, there were 97 restaurants with 9,500 employees. In 1976, the General Mills subsidiary opened a microbiology laboratory in Orlando to ensure the quality of its products. Red Lobster ended that fiscal year with 174 units in 26 states and total sales of $174 million. By 1978, Red Lobster had expanded to 236 restaurants and had made a total of $291 million in sales. By the end of 1980, Red Lobster had 260 units and was making almost $400 million in annual sales. Although it was a sit-down chain, it was considered fast food by some analysts because most of the entree items were delivered frozen. Red Lobster soon introduced the iconic menu items like the Cheddar Bay biscuits and held its first Lobster Fest. By early 1983, there were 350 locations in 36 states. In 1984, the company held its first Lobster Fest. The annual event celebrates lobster by releasing new and limited time only dishes. That same year, the company introduced a new type of restaurant which would end up being a grazer's delight, with a seafood bar serving up oysters, shrimps, clams, calamari, and other appetizers with drinks, and a glass-enclosed grill where fresh seafood was broiled over mesquite wood flames. Red Lobster restaurants had deliberately been built without windows so that diners would not take up time seeking a table looking out, but the new unit had picturesque views. Waiters were instructed to relax instead of speeding diners through the dinner cycle. In 1984, General Mills authorized a $104 million remodeling program for Red Lobster, the largest capital spending item in the parent company's history. All 370 stores were to be overhauled with the menu 40% longer to include such items as seafood salads and pastas, and 6 or 8 fresh fish entrees available, twice as many as in the past. By 1985, Red Lobster had expanded to almost 400 locations and had $834 million in sales. After 1986, waiters and waitresses were encouraged to display individuality in serving customers rather than relying on mechanical recitations of what the restaurant had to offer. By the late 1980s, Red Lobster was offering more than 100 seafood items every day. Then in 1992, Cheddar Bay biscuits, which remain one of the restaurant's most beloved items, were first released. Initially called freshly baked hot cheese garlic bread, they were served to people waiting for their tables in the restaurant's lobbies, per Red Lobster. But after a positive response, Red Lobster decided to serve them tableside instead, and 5 years after their launch, they were renamed Cheddar Bay biscuits. On March 29, 1994, Red Lobster's founder, Bill Darden, died at the age of 75. In 1995, after Darden's passing, General Mills restructured its restaurant division and changed its name to Darden Restaurants, Inc. Red Lobster remained under the Darden Restaurants umbrella for almost 20 years. In December of 2001, Darden Restaurants had its 16th consecutive quarter of same-restaurant sales gains, making $535 million in sales for the quarter. Red Lobster and its sister company, Olive Garden, enjoyed same-restaurant sales growth that once again surpassed the casual dining industry average. The restaurant chain was steadily adding restaurants and experimenting with promotional deals to bring value-minded customers through the doors. In the summer of 2003, Red Lobster introduced its Endless Snow Crab promotion, which offered customers all-you-can-eat snow crab for $22.99. But the promotion worked a little too well. Customers took advantage of the deal by ordering heaps of snow crab, and restaurants couldn't keep up. Endless Snow Crab cost the company a reported $3.3 million in profits, and the chain's then president, Edna Morris, stepped down as a result. The New York Post also reported in 2003 that the bungled promotion cost Red Lobster a whopping $405 million of stock value in a single session after investors began rapidly selling off their shares. The deal ended up being called one of the worst marketing blunders in industry history. In 2004, the chain tried again with Endless Shrimp. The shrimp deal, a much more affordable option at the time for restaurants to make all you can eat, was a hit with customers and reinvigorated the brand. The brand also made updates to its restaurants. Wood-fired grills were added to Red Lobster's location nationwide, and restaurant designs changed, inspired by the historic fishing village of Bar Harbor, Maine. By 2008, the Great Recession majorly impacted the restaurant industry, and casual dining brands took the brunt as people cut back on luxuries like dining out. Afterwards, Red Lobster was also struggling to make a comeback, putting pressure on Darden to turn away from the brand and focus on other restaurant concepts. By then, Olive Garden's sales were outperforming Red Lobster's, and Darden was diversifying its portfolio of restaurants with fast-growing chains like Longhorn Steakhouse, Capital Grille, and Yard House. In 2014, Darden sold the chain to Golden Gate Capital for $2.1 billion. At the time, the firm called Red Lobster an exceptionally strong brand with plenty of opportunities for growth. To finance the deal, Golden Gate sold off Red Lobster's real estate holdings to a separate company, meaning that Red Lobster would now be leasing its restaurants. Over time, this has proven costly for the brand. In 2016, Thai Union took a $575 million minority stake in the brand and made efforts to become the main seafood supplier to Red Lobster and cut restaurant costs to increase profits. However, many of the changes were begrudged by Red Lobster employees. Critics charged Thai Union with changing Red Lobster's menus based on cost-cutting decisions and executive opinion, rather than customer preferences. Servers were also reportedly instructed to cover 10 tables per service instead of 3 in an effort to save on labor costs. In 2020, Thai Union assumed the majority ownership of Red Lobster after Golden Gate Capital announced its plans to sell its remaining equity stake in the chain. Between 2021 and 2022, Red Lobster welcomed new executives into key executive positions, including the CEO, Chief Marketing Officer, Chief Financial Officer, and Chief Information Officer. However, all of them departed from the company within a span of 2 years. Initially a one-day-a-week deal for $20, Endless Shrimp became a daily promotion in summer of 2023 to attract more customers as Red Lobster struggled to keep up with the changing industry. However, inflation and the rising cost of seafood created rough seas for the chain. In 2023, Red Lobster raised the price of the Endless Shrimp twice, eventually landing at $25 to cope with demand and improve profits. Despite the increased price, the all-you-can-eat strategy backfired. The chain reported operating losses of $11 million and $12.5 million in the 2 quarters following the initial daily Endless Shrimp promotion launch. In 2024, the deal is only available on Mondays. Changing tastes are also a major issue. Many customers in the mood for seafood are more likely to seek out a steakhouse rather than a seafood-specific restaurant or a chain like Red Lobster. A combination of the COVID-19 pandemic, sustained industry headwinds, higher interest rates, and rising material and labor costs have impacted Red Lobster, resulting in prolonged negative financial contributions to Thai Union and its shareholders. Thai Union announced in January 2024 that it planned to sell off its remaining stake in the chain. Red Lobster currently operates 551 locations in the US and 27 restaurants in Canada. The chain closed 93 underperforming locations on May 13th and is asking the bankruptcy court to reject 108 of its leases to further slim down its footprint. The company has 36,000 employees, most of whom work in part-time roles. Red Lobster has assets between $1 billion and $10 billion and estimated liabilities of $1 billion to $10 billion, according to the bankruptcy filing. Its largest creditor is distributor Performance Food Group, which is claiming the company owes it $24.4 million. After filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on May 20, 2024, the company said in a statement that it intends to use the proceedings to drive operational improvements, simplify the business through a reduction in locations, and pursue a sale of substantially all of its assets as a going concern. As part of these filings, Red Lobster has entered into a stalking horse purchase agreement, pursuant to which Red Lobster will sell its business to an entity formed and controlled by its existing term lenders. Red Lobster's restaurants will remain open and operating as usual during the Chapter 11 process. So what do you remember about this place? Leave a comment or a suggestion for a future video below. And if you haven't already, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, bringing back memories from the good old days. That's super cool, man.